Hey guys, it's me. I'm just, I went to go get my son something to eat and was thinking about, like the atomic family, like the structure of an atomic family. You have to have like the father and then the mother, and of course there's the kids within this, household structure. You have to get beyond, you have to look beyond, you know, um, things. I mean, you have like the positive and the negative, and then the children here. Um, what makes an atomic family is, father, mother, children, structure in, you know, a setting, whether it be a work setting, church setting, whatever. It's, making the system like work, making it work. Um, that's, I don't know, I had the concept, and then it kind of like, when I got home, it kind of, I don't know, scrambled, I guess. But no, I mean, I think that this thing, for like either a workplace or, a family structure, being, stable, you have to have, you know, balance. It's all like balance, right? What happens when the children, like the father is no longer there. Like they're gone. And the mother and these children act out at you know, the mother, you know, she can't, she can't hold it together. These children are acting out. They're like, attacking, you know, the mom. I mean, she can only handle so much because there is no father. Let's say the father is law, like law. Let's say consequences in there as well, you know. Let's say he was the one that divvies up the consequences when these children act out at the mother, you know. I mean, it's in any structure, any structure, I'm just saying, family wise, it's, people understand that, when when the children act out at the headarchy, you know, and the father is like the disciplinarian, the one that gives out consequences. Well, the father is supposed to be, since it's like a hierarchy, and he's no longer there to give out the consequences, and they end up attacking, you know, what does the mother do? How does how is there going to be any, you know, peace? You know? How is there going to be any balance to balance, the children out? You know? Now, I put this over here as this this has to be some sort of order. Like, because everything's a hierarchy kind of thing. You look at the triangle, right? Very significant. Ooh, very significant within a system. You got the hierarchy. Somebody, whether it's like a grandmother or a grandfather, of the mother or the husband, whatever, has to come help within this hierarchy. They have to step in and get these children under control, or it could be the law, because we have a lawless atmosphere. There's a lawless atmosphere here. It's in any kind of structure, any kind of, you know, would you say that like even a workplace is also like family, or I mean, it is the kind of the same thing. There's lawlessness in a system that's not balanced. You want to get that equal sign there. It's lawlessness because these people lie, cheat, steal, manipulate to attack like one person, or attack a bunch of people. It could be a bunch of people. I mean, this, could be one person. It could be, a bunch of people because there's too much lawlessness within the system. Therefore, it's not balanced. The system isn't going to work. There's no one stepping in to say, stop. No one to say, to stop the situation. Someone in a higher structure needs to come in and put it, well, I mean, if you're looking at hierarchy, whether it's a higher person with power to get these ones under control. I mean, it's a big waste of this person's time, but there's lawlessness here. Let's say somebody underneath this person isn't doing their job, not doing their job, not doing job, not doing their job. Let's say somebody underneath this person isn't doing their job. It's not, I mean, yes, there's supposed to be, an atomic family here, but somebody is not doing their job. Let's say he's right here and he just refuses to do it. Then you have lawlessness. You don't even have an equal balance of something. They look like an atomic family. But they aren't an atomic family. What is this person's agenda? What is it that they, the question is here, not doing your job, not jobbing, not doing your job in this position leaves like a lot of questions. Like, what's the agenda? Like, what's the agenda of not helping? What's the agenda here? That means that this person has ulterior motives. There's ulterior motives. Even though this person has power, that won't get these little shits together. That won't, what's the agenda? It's not an atomic family. It's not. It's a very dysfunctional one. It's very dysfunctional. It's for the environment, work productivity. It's gonna like go all down the line. It's like, it's not, there's no structure. There's no structure. zero structure, you know, zero structure to this. It's not going to give an equal sign to give to the mothership for sure. I'm like always, I like calling it mothership. I don't know why. But yeah. I mean, so what is this what does this person do, or what did this, you know, it could be more than one person. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't have to be. It's just we have lawlessness here. We have lawlessness. We have, you know, somebody not doing their job. What's their agenda? What is their agenda for not doing what they were put there to do? You know, just like a you know, a father has a job to be a father when they have children, right? You got to turn around and go get a job, you know, supply the household with money and pay bills and all of that. The mother's supposed to be the nurturing one to take care of the kids. Same thing, same. It's, you know, even though it's very, you know, um, simple, a simple way of thinking, it is a structure, really. In if you look at it, it's just a structure of how, you know, things should go, whether it be in a business, even in a church, even when you're at church, there is a hierarchy there. The priest is the higher one, you know, the deacon, and then the, you know, it's the harmonious harmonious um structure, FYI. So somebody, let's say in that whole structure, let's say you took out the priest. Well, then why is there a congregation? If you took out the deacons, you know, then why is there a congregation? You know, like you take out the mother, the nurturer, the giving one, and then you have these motherfuckers that are lawless. It becomes, it's not a structure anymore. It's not even an atomic family anymore. We got orphans here. We got renegades. We got orphans. We got something that produces negative energy. That's how I look at it. It's not it's not structured. It's not structured. Making a system work, making it work, making, you know, making a system function on a positive note, on a positive, or even a balanced. When you have balance in a system, even in a atomic family, you know, things function the way they're supposed to function. You know, like I said, some people, like I said, like Daisy, Bill, all these people have got to go. Like they, you know, there's no consequences for their actions. Therefore, we have lawlessness. We have um one we have one that's how they function, is this lawless, you know, dirty-handed dirty-handed moves. You know, that's not good for anybody, really. Only for their own agenda. Only for their own agenda, wherever the agenda that is. I don't know. That's just how I'm thinking right now. Because because it's, I don't know, maybe the way I think is serving a bigger purpose for the way things should be looked at. I mean, it would eliminate, some of the lawlessness, so we bring in some balance. But I'm just a simple person. And, I made the right decision for myself in a lot of ways. Like, sometimes you have to look at a situation. I'm like, damn, I'm just one person. I can't change these motherfuckers. I can't change them. Because lawlessness is here. Like, it's here. Somebody doesn't want to do their job. And I've seen that time and time and time and time again. I've seen that so many times. And too much of one thing isn't good for anyone. All right, guys, that's it.